The new Hunchback designs are live at nogutsnogalaxy.net. Grab yours today. You've been a good mech warrior, have you not? Hey, what's going on, guys? Phil here. Welcome back to some Mechwarrior Online patch notes review for November of 2023. Let's go ahead, dive in here, and start covering. We've got greetings, mech warriors, in the land of Mechwarrior, aka the Pacific Northwest. The winter cold has definitely arrived, but we have a patch that should warm you up with some annual rewards, the new Legendary Centurion, the exciting new underground map Bearclaw II, and a bunch of weapon adjustments, mech quirk adjustments, and much more. Updates on subject to further change in the future, so get out there and do some science. All right, so the first thing is annual rewards. This is actually a big one. There's quite a bit of mechs coming. I looked at all these mechs. We have some new variants that are coming that I think you should keep your eye on. Of course, we're getting a clan wolfhound, so just think about that. So we are very happy to release the year's Mechwarrior Online annual rewards program in this update as a token of our sincere gratitude to the dedicated players and supporters of MWO. And to celebrate your commitment to MWO, please enjoy the 2023 rewards, and may your new mechs bring you much success on the battlefield. So you can see here the 21st, which is of course tomorrow on the patch. If you're watching this in the future, it's November 21st. And they will be injected into your account. You can, of course, check what you're qualified here if you just go to the patch notes and click these here. You can see the criteria and so forth and so on. All right, so let's go and talk about the new mech. We've, of course, seen snippets of this with some of the leaks out of the cauldron. That's what we're calling them, leaks. And we've got the Centurion Onyx, a battle pass redeem. All right, and TBD, you're going to have a link on this. Now, why is that battle pass? It's because you have to go to the website to unlock all the special goodies here. The new legendary mech this month is Centurion Onyx. The Onyx pack will sell for $15 US on the website and will also be available on Steam. Each legendary mech is a new variant of the existing chassis. It has a custom paint job and 30% C-build boost. Also included with each is a new mini battle pass system driven by the Mech XP, and again, that's where you have to go to the website to unlock each thing, such as the colors and camo and Warhorn. Just by playing the mech, you will earn GSP, C-Bills, MC, premium time, and exclusive cockpit items, decals, colors, and bolt-ons. However, unlike typical battle pass system, there will be no expiration date to earn these extra items. Take as long as you need. All right, so let's go talk about the Centurion and what is different about this one. I don't know if you noticed, but obviously it's glaring. That's just staring you right in the face. It's got a hideous paint scheme, actually. I think the 90s have called and they want their windbreakers back. I definitely owned a pair of these windbreakers. I'm not going to lie. No, for instance, I actually dig the sort of colors, the cyberpunk sort of esque look. It does give me a sort of cyberpunk vibes for whatever reason. The huge shield. It's the huge shield feel. Yes, I get that. This is actually going to be a piece of equipment that's attached to the left arm. It weighs 4 tons and you get like 100 HP on that arm. It's to the side, so to make sure to utilize it, either stand there if someone's shooting you from the side, I guess. But then, I know this may sound crazy, you're going to have to torso twist. I know, it's crazy. And then you'll have the shield and you'll be good to go from like fire. So you could be like, I'm running this way, shield, fire, and then, pew pew, and then you'll be like this, pew pew. So that's what it does. I really like the idea. This is one of the things that I've talked about many a times, months ago on stream. And it's good to see it actually being delivered. So aesthetically, I like that they went the entire almost height of the mech. I know that we were shown sort of iterations where the first iteration was actually about half the size and it was actually horizontal. For me, at least, I like the full sort of from shin to pretty much where the mech is. Now, I do believe, I don't know this as I'm recording this, that you're actually going to be able to see above where, you know, like if you use your arm crosshairs to sort of look through as you're running this, it's not confusing at all. But anyways, if you're doing this torso twisting and looking, you can see over there. Apparently, I don't know. I haven't tested more on that. That's what's going to make this slightly unique. You've got ballistic and energy and then one missile in the left torso. I think the default loadout's probably going to be pretty solid. Overall, I like the mech. I think the aesthetics look, as far as the camo, it'll be nice having different colors as well. But overall, I think this is a thumbs up. So cool to see stuff like this. It's the first mech of its kind with a shield that being said, it'll be interesting if they bring the shield to other chassis, maybe Chargers, Battlemaster, or Banshees, stuff like that, or just others. It'll be interesting to sort of see, or different iterations of. That'll be pretty dope as well. Like I mentioned, you've got a ballistic energy in the right arm, 2 energy in the CT, 1 missile in the left torso, and you know, again, XL on this. Most mediums do rock XLs, large ones, so they can go fast because speed is life. Again, 30% C-Ball boost. It does have 10% cooldown, 10% velocity, and 10% heat, along with the armor and structure for the left and right arm. And again, if you notice, the base armor here is 100 for that arm. So you have that. All right, moving on down, we have a new map, Bearclaw 2. Krasdek unveils his latest creation, the brand new map, Bearclaw the Second, uniquely mostly underground map that is mech factory with aircraft, runways, buildings, tunnels, and lots of areas and angles to explore and approach the enemy. This map has drop ship deployment and therefore will be available for events in event queue. Now, this is actually really cool. We saw the sneak peek of this from Krasdek. I tweeted him out. My speculation when we saw this image was that, oh, are we getting a cavern map? And that's what we basically have. Now, I did ask him when he popped in chat and talked about this is sort of a, I guess, the best way they can do underground maps. What that means is this isn't actually terrain. These are 3D assets. So it's really cool that someone's actually done this. And so kudos. It'll be fun playing this. You can see a lot of terrain here. If you look at right here too, as this passes, that's a summoner. So that sort of gives you the scale for this map. So based off of that scale, that's a summoner right there. This is actually a pretty large map. It'll be interesting to see the accessibility. Will there be ramps? Will it have issues like Mining Collective where there's not really a whole lot of accessibility and you really will have to have jump jets? I don't know. We can't really see here. But there is some verticality here. Obviously, there's nothing high up. So it doesn't look like there's going to be like dominant sniper positions, but we'll just have to see. If anything, it looks like a Shadowcat's dream. So anyways, that'll be pretty nice as well. But overall, also with the aesthetic here, definitely getting a Frozen City Night, the old Frozen City vibe. I know there were people asking for a different biome or something like that, something new. Just keep in mind that Krasdek is working with assets he has available, and he can't create new assets out of nowhere, right? So he is reusing stuff. And I think it's going to be really cool. And again, we can see this huge cavern with all the buildings, but then we also see this, and again, summoner for scale. Yeah, this is going to be interesting. I don't know how it plays. We'll sort of have to see tomorrow. All right, something that is a for first in Mechwarrior Online is Mech Lab update. They've got a holiday theme here. While he was busy working on the new map, Krasdek found a bit of time to add some holiday cheer to the Mech Lab, a first for Mechwarrior Online. This is actually surprising that it's never been done before, and I don't think it was too difficult to do, but keep in mind that, again, Krasdek and Tios are diving in here and sort of seeing what's being messed with. But again, trees, some Christmas lights. I like it. I like sort of themed events and like the Mech Lab areas. You see it in World of Tanks, stuff like that as well. It'd be cool sort of rolling into other, holidays as well. Halloween, maybe some pumpkins and stuff everywhere, all that stuff with lights and so forth. So anyways, I like that. Yeah, it's much appreciated. I think a lot of people are going to like that. All right, weapon adjustments. This is where things are going to start to get interesting. If you notice here, ammo across the board is being increased. From my understanding is that this is to bring everything in line for a per ton amount. Expect, of course, changes, not per ton, but balance changes to happen based off of this in the near future. You can sort of see here, increased ammo per ton to 100 from 87. Everything's pretty much, getting a boost here, and that's going to need some balance adjustments, probably, in my opinion, down the road. And here's the big one that I want to talk about, the elephant in the room, hags. Are hags a problem? Are they OP? You tell me in the comments down below. But let's go and talk about what the changes and what to expect. This may be the last nerf or buff, or let's talk about it. We've got removed projectile spread. Well, Phil, that sounds like a buff. They removed the projectile spread. My thoughts on this. There is removal. The spread here is literally negligible. Like you wouldn't notice a 7% decrease. So there's that. Heat increase from 7 to 5.5. That is a quite large increase, especially considering they already had nerfed the Hag 30 with heat. Now it's going to go from 10 to 30. Did I notice a difference with Hag 30s and the heat? Yes. And that's specifically on the Marauder 2C Delta build that I'd been running. Really enjoyed it. Also, increased cooldown by half a second across the board. What does that mean? That basically means is you're not going to be able to fire as quick consecutively. This has trade-offs though. And that trade-off is during that now half a second time period, your mech has chances to cool off. So even though it's going to be generating more heat and it's going to be taking longer to fire, which means you're just not going to be putting as much DPS downrange. So they are losing their spread. My opinion is it's probably negligible here. Don't freak out. But then it's getting a big slap. Now, there has been other talk from Cauldron members on my Twitch chat about potentially more nerfs coming. Stuff like maybe where you can only fire one without ghost heat, so forth, if it comes down to that. My thoughts on all the hags in general is I never felt hags were really out of place. But in the right circumstances, with the right map and right soup queue, it could feel like it. There also is a bit for maps and how they play into long range and so forth. If anything, I feel like they're a weird weapon to balance. You don't want them too OP at, where whatever range bracket, and they sort of mitigate UAX and then GOS and so forth. And you don't want them crap because then they're just never used. I do feel like hags are going through that same stage as sort of like light PPCs and snubs did a while ago, where really it just took a while to tune them in. So we'll keep an eye on it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Do you like this? Do you hate it? Do you feel like this isn't going to change anything? Do you feel like it's too over the top? Are you happy with hags as they were, or as they are, or what they will be? Again, let me know. All right, binary laser cannon. This one's a little confusing, so let's go dive in here. Mech quirks that are exclusives to standard large laser no longer affect binary laser cannon. Binary laser remains included in the standard laser category and will benefit from quirks that affect all standard lasers. Quirk swaps have been done on a couple of mechs, Thunderbolt, Marauder, to maintain their boost to binary lasers. Check quirk adjustment list. Now, why is this? It's a nerf, and then these got a buff. They're nerf because the standard large laser were giving some mechs the ability to fire more than 2 binaries and then stack that. For instance, the Marauder 4A had a standard and a laser HSL, which allowed it to fire 4 binaries without ghost heat. Obviously, you can see this sort of problem. I think it's actually fine as far as laser HSL, but anyways, they've changed it. So what does this mean? A mech can still get standard laser range, and binaries would benefit. Standard laser duration, binaries would benefit. But specifically, standard large laser no longer affects binary laser. So overall, it's just one of those things where they're just sort of trimming the fat, getting rid of, outliers, and then they can start, adjusting. Overall, I think binary lasers have been a plus for Mechwarrior Online. I think they sort of fit in out of all the 3 new weapon systems. I think they slotted in pretty much, without any issues, albeit from a few mechs being overquirked. But other than that, I think they've been a good addition. All right, this is a big one. I've talked a lot about this again on my stream. By the way, I do stream Monday, Tuesday, Thursdays, and Fridays over on twitch.tv/NGNGTV. I'll have a link down below. If you haven't, drop me a follow over there. Again, make sure to do so. Also join us on Discord. Again, all these links will be down below. Easy, join us, hang out. It's a really good time. If you're new to the game too, it's a great way to be able to ask questions live, and I can answer them directly. So check that out. Equipment adjustments, something I've ranted about for years, is finally getting a nerf. That's right, cool shot consumables. Let's dive in here. Extra cooling duration increase to 7 seconds from 3. What does that mean? That basically means is when you hit your cool shot button, instead of it taking a full 3 seconds to basically, X amount of cooling, now it's spread out to over double of that period. So your cooling is actually going to be a little bit slower. Extra cooling strength decreased to 2 heat per second from 4.6 6, 7. Note, this change keeps the amount of extra dissipated heat the same at 14, but spreads it over a longer 7-second window compared to the current 3 seconds. Now, I've talked a lot about this with Navid, Magic Pain Glove, and some of the other streamers, and it comes down to looking at what systems cause the ability for large, in this case, alpha builds to be able to fire, duck behind cover, and or not even duck behind cover, and then deliver that second volley and maybe a third volley. The power creep in MWO started with cool shots. Cool shots actually used to be sort of a pay-to-win mechanic. For those that weren't around, there used to be different ones for MC. Obviously, the community spoke up and they got rid of them. Now you can do C-bills and MC, but keep in mind, cooling just out of nowhere. It's magic. Cooling magic. At least in previous games, it was a trade-off. If you ran out of coolant, it's like running out of coolant in your engine, in your car, and your car is going to overheat a lot quicker. We don't have that mechanic in MWO. If anything, it's just free power, especially considering every mech has a slot, to be able to bring a consumable. So it doesn't cost you anything. Now, will this affect mechs? Yes, I think it's going to affect mechs. I'm even for more nerfs to this, but I think this is a step in the right direction. I think this has been long overdue. I think this is exactly one of the reasons why power creep in the game has just kept going up as well. So it's good that the Cauldron's looking at this and looking at sort of the dynamic of alpha, sustainability, and so forth. So anyways, kudos, like it. Let me know what you guys think. I think it's going to take some adjustment. I think for a long time we've been this has been a crutch. It's been a crutch. And I don't think cool shots have been a positive for the game. I think they've been a net negative. I'd actually be okay with cooling pods because it takes up crit slots and tonnage. But just magic coolant, I've never been a fan of. I think it's a crutch, and I think this will take a little bit of learning to get into. So anyways, let me know again what you guys think. It's been a long time coming. So again, Cauldron, if you're listening, kudos. I like that, adjustments are coming to this, and it'll be interesting seeing what it does to gameplay. All right, let's talk about something we've not ever talked about since its inception, and that's the command console. That's right. You may not even know. What? There's a command console? Like where, when, what? That's right. There is a command console. It fell short. It was trying to do something, only select mechs could do it. Looking at you, Atlas. It's a big piece of equipment that's very lackluster, and it was just sort of dropped, but yet left in game. The devs back in the day never really did anything. So it's back, and it's being rebranded, just like MWO. Item has been rebranded to Advanced Sensor Package. The Advanced Sensor Package is a specialized inner sphere targeting computer specializing in vision, targeting info, and sensor improvements. Unlike a normal targeting computer, which offers offensive boost, the ASP provides tactical and visual benefits only. Like other targeting computers, you cannot carry more than one, nor can you stack with other types of targeting computers. You won't be able to carry a target computer 1 and an ASP. Fantastic idea, taking something that literally has no practical and or impractical uses. I don't know. No one. Yeah. So good. Let's talk about what it does. Advanced sensor packages stats can only be placed on inner sphere heavies and assaults and only in the head component. I like slots 1, tonnage 1.5, same thing as BAP. That's pretty dope. Sensor boost 10%, targeting time boost 42.5. Holy moly. Why is that important? Well, it's important because if I am going to be in a command sort of role or want this piece of equipment, this ASP, to be able to lock onto your target and get paper doll info, that's where it's important. You're going to get the lock right away, but I want to know where the paper doll info is. Why is that important to me? I drop call a lot. I want to be able to say, right torso on Foxtrot, blah, 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 blah. That's super nice. Zoom level 1, 2.5%. So just automatically your zoom level is going to be further out. And then, of course, max zoom level is going to be 4. And then if you do advanced zoom level, it's 7 times. That's right, 7 times. Let me go ahead and guess this is going to be something that ER large lasers and snipers. I know what all of you are saying. Phil, you don't ever use advanced zoom level. And you're right, I don't. Because I feel like I can do pretty well otherwise. My argument used to be that advanced zoom level was too many nodes on the tree. I don't have that argument anymore. I don't know. Maybe you'll see me give it a try. Who knows? But the ASP is now in. Command console is out. I like it. Love it. Improvements. It's dope. Keep up. It'll be interesting. I think they're probably going to end up boosting or at least changing some of these things. I like the sensor boost. I don't think it's enough to really like a big one, maybe in the 20s, and it stacks with, you know, maybe it could stack with BAP and then your skills and stuff like that. But, and again, keep in mind targeting time boost. You can also, I think, boost that in the mech, in the skills. I may be wrong on that one. Anyways. Mech quirk adjustments. Now, I'm going to sort of go over these, not in super detail, but this is one you need to know about. This is the scale shot. That's right. The legendary death from 3, almost 400 meter range, pinpoint accurate, SRM, brawler, skirmisher, flanker, murderer, the evilest thing in the world. It's right here. It's getting nerfed. Remove 20% spread from set of 6. Cool. Yes. Good times. I approve of this change. Why? Because you shouldn't be able to be that pinpoint accurate at 400 meters and be pop targeting with SRMs. It sort of defeats the, yeah. So reduced clan SRM ammo bonus to 240 per ton instead of 8 from 300. Okay, so that's nerfed. But wait, there's more. Added 240 clan SRM plus Artemis ammo per ton bonus to set of 8. Now, why is that important? It's important because what's going to happen is people are going to drop to less as far as launchers and get the bonus of ammo. So overall, I'm happy with this change. The Viper is squishy. The scale shot is squishy. The problem is the scale shot can do a lot of things. So I'm okay with it remove the ability for 20% spread to be able to have that spread bonus. Keep in mind, Artemis also gives it spread. So in a way, what they're doing is they're basically saying, hey, if you're wanting that spread bonus, you can go pick up the skill nodes in the skill tree and you can take Artemis to get that basically the negative 20. But now it won't be basically like, skill tree plus 20 spread. So overall, I like the change. I still think they're going to be great. I still think they're going to be super deadly. The thing with this is it basically allows how I see the mech being played more often than not is that sort of skirmisher, that guy who you just sort of ignore and next thing you know, boom, boom, boom. So I'm okay with the change. I'm still going to keep my eye on it. I still think the mech will be very strong. Will it be broke? To be determined on that. All right, so we got some Centurion changes, and to note, I want to go ahead and talk about the Yen Lo Wang for a very specific person. You know who you are. All right, they've basically consolidated quirks here. What have they done? They basically got rid of the cooldown here and just consolidated it into one. Why would they do that? Why have 5 quirks when you can basically have 2? I agree with this. There's no reason to have energy and AC 20. You could just add that to the 15, add it 10, and boom, there you go. It doesn't have any missile quirks, so you don't really have to worry. Actually, a lot of the quirk adjustments you're going to see across the board are like this, where they basically consolidate stuff and go from there. So overall, I think this is good. Also, same thing happened on the 9AH, which is basically missiles and a ballistic. So there's that. I do believe this may be hot take. I do believe they're also removing the lower arm actuator on some of the Centurions. I may be incorrect about this, but I thought I saw something on Cauldron that was looking at this, and maybe I can get a thumbs up in chat from a particular Cauldron member that's actually true before I go any further. And this gets a little awkward because it goes a little bit too long, and I'm just waiting on an answer from Bear Claw. All right, Bear Claw said it's true, so if it's not, we'll just blame him. So, Cauldron, there you go. All right, moving on to the Thunderbolt. This is where the patch notes we're talking about. It's replacing the negative large laser cooldown with standard large laser, and then same thing, so forth and so on. So basically, it's to sort of curb the binaries and adjust them across the board. It's to be expected based on the notes. Orion's across the board All variants, excluding the hero, are getting a huge bonus here. Like, I don't know if you guys noticed this. 33, they're adding 20 hit points to the CT, 20 to the arms, 15. I mean, this is substantial quirks as far as armor. Now, this is everyone but the hero, and we're going to be talking about that in a second. So, right off the bat, all the Orions just got a buff. Again, consolidation of quirks here. Why do you have 2 ballistic missile? Just do 1 and call it a day. It's not going to hurt anything. The Orion is basically a mini Atlas as far as hard points go. I played one recently and I wanted to cry. Thank you, Tank Hair. Orion 1V, again, remove UAC heat. It's just getting a global. So again, a lot of consolidation. I approve of these quirks, by the way. I still wish we could do this with armor and structure to where it could just be consolidated. But again, there's limitations. Wow, let's talk about the P here. Not as strong as armor buffs. Interesting. Again, cooldown, just consolidate into 1. Why is the P not getting as many buffs? Generally speaking, it's regarded as one of the more powerful ones. So there you have it. But basically all the Orions got quirks. So there we go. Let's talk about the Annihilator here, specifically the clan one. And that is the Godzilla, because that's the only one that we have. As of right now, who knows? I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Negative 15 Gauss cooldown now affects standard Gauss rifles only. It currently affects Hags too, but it's not going to as of tomorrow or when you're watching this. 20% Gauss rifle velocity now affects standard Gauss rifle only. Currently affects Hags, but not tomorrow. This thing's getting a huge nerf. Basically, the Gosszilla, I think there was some individuals getting some absurdly high match score and damage out there in the public. I think it was considered to be a little bit too strong, or was that the weapon systems? I don't know. They're getting a nerf too. I didn't really see the Godzilla as an issue, but apparently it was a little bit too strong. So I'm of the mind, I still feel this way. The Godzilla is, outside of just using it like Hag 30s across the board or something like that, it doesn't do a whole lot for me. I just feel like it's still lackluster on that front. I don't play it a lot because I don't know. Maybe I'm just potato, but it's not oof enough. I was expecting Goss, and then it was doing Hags, and now it's just back to regular Goss. I don't know. Is 50% cooldown enough for that? Maybe, because you can throw on the skills 9.6 with that, so to be determined. Let's talk about the Marauder 2. Same thing happened as we were talking about the Thunderbolt. Replace large lasers with +1 standard laser HSL. That'll curb some of the builds with the binaries. Miscellaneous adjustments here. Arctic Wolf arm missiles now load top down. Interesting that for those that don't know, again, it's got one on the forearm here and then one up here. So now it's going to go from here. So ergo, if you don't want to put the second one in the lower arms, now you still have the high mounts, which there you go. Arctic Wolf pilots, you get another buff. Removed lower arm actuators from Centurion Yenlo Wang and 9AH. Okay, I was 50% wrong on that one. Thank you, Bearclaw, for not pointing that out, because you're a horrible person. Even though you're in my chat, you could have been like, all right, so it's just Yenlo and 9AH, which is actually fine, because now I think they'll be able to rock UAC 20s, a little bit more effectively, or effectively, better. There you go. Wolfhound right arm hitbox tweaked. The shoulder shield is now entirely right arm hitbox. So that's going to be it for the patch notes. Overall, I think this is actually a good patch. It brings some adjustments that I think are needed. It'll be interesting sort of seeing how Hags are. The balance changes some of the mechs and weapons. The ammo, I still feel like the ballistics are probably going to need an adjustment on the per ton level. Some of the changes that have been talked about the Cauldron, as far as clan double heat sinks in the podcast I did with Bearclaw, still haven't came to fruition. I do believe they held off until potentially December to make any adjustments. Now, we still don't know what the consensus was. We still don't know if they were going to follow through, what they were going to do. Was it going to be just a slight nerf, big nerf? We don't know. As far as the whole alpha and high alpha, they may be testing with the cool shot stuff like that. I've also had conversations about sort of the LRM weirdness that is going around. That also includes ECM, radar deprivation, and sort of the micro sort of you know, as far as lock-on weapons, streaks also included in there. It's a weird time for lock-on weapons, and some of that has to do with radar deprivation and ECM. Now, we've had conversations and we've had feedback that there are changes coming to ECM, and I figure that sort of adjustments to some of these weapon systems and the ecosystem, if you will, of these weapon systems we'll start seeing in December and then January and February. And again, you can go join the Cauldron Discord. There's actually a link on the MWO website now. There's a post too, so if you want to join that. There is a leaks channel. Looking at you, Bear Claw Leaks. There's a leaks channel that posts all the info about what's coming up or what's been posted. I actually really like this. I think the consolidation is a great thing for you know, YouTube content creators that want to create YouTube ahead of time and videos ahead of time for the information that's out there. So thank you to the Cauldron for doing that. I think it's makes life so much easier than picking out everything over here. Overall, I like again, I like this patch. I think it's a good addition. We got a new map coming. That's always fun. Yeah, I'll be live streaming not tomorrow because I'll be going on vacation. So you're watching this, you've been playing probably more than I have, and I'll be back after Thanksgiving because that's how holidays work. So you guys let me know in the comments how things are going on this patch. What do you guys think? Because you guys will know more. I'll be paying attention to Discord and stuff like that. But let me know again what your overall thoughts are on the Hags, the Centurion, the balance changes, the new map, and so forth in the description. And again, make sure to join us on Discord. I'll have a link down below. If you guys like these kind of videos, the best thing you guys can do is drop it a like, engage in the comments down below. If you guys want to join Discord, like I said, info, make sure to go check out the merch. Consider becoming a patron. I'll be posting more stuff up on my Patreon for the house renos that I'm doing, and we'll be going from there. So, and I'm getting invaded by a, oh my gosh, cute naked baby. Hello, cute naked baby. Yes, yes. Are you going to pee on mom? You should do it right now. Anyways, guys, that's going to be it for this video. Again, just want to say thanks again for all the support. I will see you after Thanksgiving weekend. Until next time.